Well, would you like to hear two people that still arguing about Brexit? Of course you would. Not only are they here, you can go to see them in a theatre show as well. Joining me in the studio, former Brexit Secretary David Davis. David, good to see you.
And you.
And former Scottish First Minister Alex Salmond, now leader of the Our Party. Alex, good to see you.
Great to be here, Matt.
So, we'll come in a moment to this live show that you're doing, where you're going to battle it out. But you've both crossed swords with David Cameron over the years. David, you ran against him for the Tory leadership.
Yeah.
And we all know how that panned out.
Yeah.
Alex, you ran against him with the referendum in 2014.
That's right. I mean, I got on reasonably well with him and set up the referendum. I mean, I suppose I did object on trying to enlist the late Queen onto the no side. But, of course, he was panicking in the last couple of weeks, as we know from his autobiography.
But it worked.
Well, did his panic work? I don't know. I mean, look, I think it was a grand short-term move by Rishi Sunak to appoint Cameron, took everybody by surprise. But I think I would have appointed David Davis. I mean, more brains, less baggage.
David, were you surprised not to get the call?
No.
What went through your minds yesterday when you saw David Cameron walking up Downing Street?
Well, I mean, David's a clever man. He'll be a competent foreign secretary. I mean, he won't be a Carrington or a Hurd because they have much more depth. But he'll probably be better than some of the ones who've gone before. So from that point of view, I can understand it. But I also thought, well, he's got some things to weave through. Like obviously the Greensill stuff, which will come back and haunt him, I'm afraid. But also some of the relationships with China and so on. So I'm not quite sure how he'll do that. But I guess the starkest thing is not really to do with him, except the fact that he's in the Lords, and we're at a time in the history of our country when it's been more global challenges than I've seen since 1979. And so the Commons will have a lot of views on that. I mean, Israel alone is good, and it's going to be quite difficult to Andrew Mitchell will do a stand-in job, but it's not him making a decision. So there's an issue to deal with there. I'm not quite sure how they're going to square that circle.
Does it make you more confident about the Tories' election prospects? Rishi Sunak 6 weeks ago was doing the "I'm the change guy, everything that's gone before me is terrible." Now he's taken the architect of everything that's gone before and stuck him in the cabinet. Well, is that a better plan?
That's what asked me in 4 weeks' time, really. I don't know yet, is the honest answer. I mean, I'm pleased they've changed the Home Secretary. I think that was unavoidable, frankly, after what went on. I'm very strongly against her arguments on banning demonstrations and this sort of thing. I'm very strongly against Home Secretaries telling off the head of the police in public. I don't think that's what they should do. So that was a good move. And the rest, well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. It's quite complicated internal reshuffle going on.
What are the Tory WhatsApp groups like this morning?
I don't know. I don't read WhatsApp. God, I mean, the idea that I look at social media is, come on, you should know me better than that.
I'm in all the Tory WhatsApp groups under an assumed name, so I keep a close eye.
He calls himself David Davis.
There was somebody in one of them wished happy birthday to a fictitious colleague, and then lots of other people. I think including Therese Coffey ended up congratulating him, and not knowing that it was not a real person.
The Conservative Party,
fictitious colleague.
Yes.
Oh God, shows how well informed they are.
The Conservative Party has never been known as the intelligent party.
Well, there's hope for you yet, isn't there, Alex? Are you waiting by the phone? Humza Yousaf calling you up?
Well, I mean,
thinking about the old guard.
I've been waiting for a meeting that he promised me some time ago, but that hasn't transpired yet. But look,
the Cameron meetings with the Scots government don't go well for them, as I remember.
The Cameron appointment. It does have one advantage that I can see. I mean, it is the case that out with the Prime Minister and perhaps the Chancellor, nobody knows who's in the Tory cabinet. I mean, all the household names, if you call them that, in the Conservative Party have all either been sacked or resigned. So at least he's brought into the cabinet somebody who, with the sole exception of David Davis, is known to the public. He is a household name, or perhaps a stately home name, David Cameron's case. But nonetheless, there must be some advantage in that. But is this going to save the Sunak government? No chance whatsoever. Sack the governor of the Bank of England. That would help.
Oh, OK. What difference does that make?
Well, because the Conservative Party cannot win an election having, put interest rates up 13 times and wrecked the finances of small businesses and mortgage holders. I mean, some things the Conservative Party can do and not do. That's one of the things you can't do.
do you make of that, David?
No, well, I have some sympathy with that. I do think interest rates are too high, and I do think we should be cutting taxes. So let's see what happens in 2 weeks' time or 1 week's time.
Yeah. Do we need a new government of the Bank of England?
Absolutely.
Well, I would have picked a different one in the first place. No, I would have picked Andy Haldane.
Well, you could also have one with an economics degree. That would be an innovation.
Oh, come on! You're being a moderniser now.
So let's talk about your new thing before you start squabbling.
Well, that is about the squabbling.
Exactly, it's all about squabbling. So you did it at the Edinburgh Fringe, and now it's coming to the West End. It's called The Eyes Have It, and it's you two arguing over Brexit.
Well, it was 10 different things.
Then all sorts of other subjects.
All sorts of other things.
Independence,
I mean,
the
for
right,
example,
the right
we
to
did
strike.
Independence, in which we had an audience consisting entirely of Alex Salmond supporters.
Well, I'm bussing
Was it
them
a
all
small
down.
room?
No, I'm bussing them all down.
Ouch! No, it was a big room. Yeah.
You should try it yourself. A large audience can be great, Mark.
Yes, no, I'm aware.
But I'm going to bust them all down for next week's debate. But
the motion of this one is Brexit is a disaster and must be reversed.
Absolutely, you got right to the point. I mean, everybody in their ante, even David Cameron, knows that Brexit's been a disaster. Even Nigel Farage said that. But the question is, can it be reversed? So I've got on my side, I've got Lena Miller, I've got Andrew Marr, I've got all the posh, decent, intelligent people on my side. David has a gang of ruffians supporting him.
Who have you allocated me?
You've got the feisty Baroness Fox.
We got
Claire
Fox.
And Mike Graham, yes. Who incidentally was a tremendous hit at the Fringe, in that people tried to hit him. But we should say this is a Tasmin Ahmed Sheikh production. It was her concept and idea. And it's actually, I don't think when we agreed to do it, I don't think either David or myself wondered how it would work, but at the Fringe it was absolutely sensational. I mean, you managed to debate serious subjects in a proper way with a bit of humour laced in, and went away not trying to tear each other's eyes out afterwards.
You, Alex, obviously agree with the motion. You must half agree with it, David.
No.
It's been a disaster, but you want to keep plowing on.
I resigned because they weren't doing it properly, but no, it's not a disaster, and I'll go through all of that on the day, and we'll have great fun with that. But what was interesting in the Fringe was as Alex said, it was feisty, it was exciting. The reason I agreed to do it, even though, when you've got to bear in mind, in Edinburgh, talking about either independence or Brexit, I'm so far behind enemy lines, I might as well have arrived by parachute. I mean,
the helicopter for him to get out.
Yeah. But on the last day, I'd actually said to the audience, the point of this is, the last 2 decades, public debate has diminished. It's divided into competing echo chambers, people not talking to each other. And Brexit's one example. All the woke stuff's another. You go through it. I mean, there's a whole load of issues, and we're having it now over civil liberties and demonstrations. And this was, trying to recreate what we did before. And we got the biggest round of applause in the entire 10 days on that. People were there to see proper debate. Good-natured. I mean, it's quite aggressive sometimes.
If either of you,
but we weren't entirely nice to each other.
Other's minds on anything.
Oh God, no.
Well, but some arguments. I mean, excuse me. We definitely adjusted arguments as we went on, because obviously one of the great things about these debates is you see what the other person's saying, and you get another chance to. I'll just make sure I deflect that. We should have mentioned, incidentally, that John Berco's in the chair. There's lots of fun and frivolity as well as the serious debate.
We want an impartial chair.
and for those
Luckily, we don't know what he thinks about
Brexit. Sitting at home saying, how on earth do we see this? It's the Leicester Square Theatre next Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
Very good. Before I let you both go, Nigel Farage has confirmed he's going into the jungle. Have either of you ever been asked to do that?
Yes.
And what did you say?
I said no. But I'll find out what Nigel's being paid, and if they ask me again, who knows? If they match it.
Do you think he's going to use this as a platform to then come back as a Tory MP and take over the Tory party after the next election?
I don't think so.
Would you like to sit along Nigel Farage in the Commons?
I could see a benefit to it, but he's not going to come. He's not going to come in the Tory party. He wouldn't want to, I don't think. But it would be interesting. What he's trying to do is appeal to a younger audience. That's what he's seeing. He said about 75% of the people watching this are very young. I hope he enjoys it. I mean, my time in the jungle, I didn't have a television camera with me.
But also, wonderful. But I was going to say that there are certain aspects of of that show, which will be good training for being on the Tory benches, cohabiting with various elements
eating
of the
kangaroo
species.
anuses?
Yeah, no, well, I was thinking more,
Commons canteens
who
are a bit better
you
than that.
cohabit with. I think that's excellent training for being a Conservative MP. So good luck to Nigel Farage in the jungle. We'll all enjoy these tasks that he'll have.
I wish him well, and he can buy the drinks next time after that.
I think it's
after
fair
that
to say
plague.
it didn't reconnect Matt Hancock with the nation, and I'm not sure this will.
Well, what could?
Lovely to see. Never mind doing this debate. You're supposed to be doing panto, I think.
No, well, the only difference is that when we're doing the debate, we do them at each other. We can rehearse some of our best lines, if you like.
Fabulous. David Davis, former Brexit Secretary, and former Scottish First Minister Alex Salmond, they are taking part in The Eyes Have It at the Leicester Square Theatre next Tuesday. You can go on live, you search for that online, and you can go along to see that, arguing about Brexit, if that's your cup of tea. Lovely stuff.